see that.
Let's see.
All right, it looks like we are live. What is going on? Discussions with dads. We are pumped for tonight. If you are brand new to our world, welcome. We do these every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you ever cannot make the live stream, you can always request for the replay down below in the comments on the announcement post that we do. We're happy to send that out to you. If you can hear us loud and clear, let us know in the comments below. If you're a first-time listener, drop your comment below. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We're happy you're here. We hope you get a ton of value tonight. We're going to unpack some common stuff around weight loss plateaus, weight loss struggles. So what I want to encourage you guys to do is, as we're doing our little intro here, put anything that you want to know about weight loss in general, or really men's health in general, drop that in the comments right now. And one of us will be going through the comments and answer every question that you guys might have around anything related to health. We're here to help. We want you to know that. So if you can hear us loud and clear, give us a thumbs up in the comments. Just say what's up. I have not seen. All right, cool. What's going on, Jim? Yeah, drop some questions. What's going on, Trent? Nice to see you. Jay from Kentucky. All right, my man. Well, good. Well, we're pumped for tonight. Just so you guys know, if you're new to the group and you're not already following my profile, at least, I'm usually going to be on the live stream, but you can connect with all three of us. If we have room for friend requests, we will accept those. But at least tap that friend request button on my profile so that when we do go live or post any valuable posts inside the group, you're going to be notified by Facebook. If you do not do that, not likely that they're going to show you our stuff as much as you could potentially be involved. So with all that being said, not sure how you found us, but welcome. You might have been here. You might have gotten here through our podcast. If you don't know that we have a podcast, drop podcast, the word podcast, in the comments below. I'm happy to send you our most recent episode. All three of us are doing some fireside chat episodes, which has been really, really fun. You might have gotten here by an ad through Facebook. If you did, welcome to our world. Again, we do these every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So with all that being said, the tee up is done. We are going to dive into some weight loss plateau stuff tonight. That's a common thing that we hear a lot of. We are also going to dive into some weight loss challenges and struggles. I know we got a couple of questions over on the announcement post, which we will go check and make sure that we get all that covered for you guys. And then last but not least, as always, if you're new to our world, we will offer an opportunity to connect with us on a deeper level, potentially work with us, partner with us, if you have interest in that. We'll do that at the end. We'll do 30 minutes or so. We like to keep these fairly short. We'll do 30 minutes or so, and then at the end, I'll give you a little commercial break to duck on out, and we will present that opportunity for you at that time. We believe wholeheartedly in what we do. The results speak for themselves. You guys probably see a lot of our guys over here posting their results inside the group. Hopefully that's inspiring and motivating you along your journey as well. A lot of guys in this free group right now that are absolutely crushing it. So that is what I have. Anthony, Zach, how are you guys doing today, man? I feel like we haven't seen each other in a really long time.
Yeah, solid hour and a half, man. Doing good, man. Doing
ready
well.
to rock.
Doing well.
Ready to rock. You guys ready to get
I
ready?
don't even think it was an hour and a half. That's what it's about. We're a good team. We're just trying to spread the love and share value, right?
There we go.
So for you guys don't know, and we'll be offering this to you guys as soon as it's all done, but Zach, Anthony, and I just got through. You guys will be the first ones to know about this. We did not. It's not even done yet, right? The content is done, but we are going to be releasing a brand new free mini course that you can get your hands on, and then again, we'll announce that to you guys as soon as we have it done. That's going to give you a snapshot into our high-level coaching program, what we're doing over there with our private clients, and really how we're able to crank out the consistent results that we're doing on a week in, week out basis. Guys getting off medications, guys dropping 20 pounds, 30, 50. You guys probably saw Rick's video in here, dropped 60 pounds in 5 months with us. Justin's interview last week. If you didn't check that out, you might want to go check that out. Dude dropped 84 pounds and just ran a marathon in under a year partnering with us. So a lot of great success stories over there. You might be next, and welcome to our world. So we're excited to get this kicked off. I want to ask you guys, first and foremost, before we get into the comments and questions, what is your take on weight loss plateaus? It's something that I hear a lot of, and I feel like guys that do really, really well for a while, they might see that initial 20, 30, 40 pound drop, and then they kind of taper off, right? And you and I, we all talk about how weight loss is not linear. And so you might see some, and I've got some graphs. We'll do a screen share with you guys in a little bit. I'll show you some graphs on what it actually looks like on a numbers standpoint. But what does you guys take on that? Because I feel like patience is a virtue, but waiting sucks. And I think that's where a lot of guys get caught up. So Zach, Anthony, you guys chime in. What's your take on weight loss plateaus?
It depends. It depends on how long they've been in a deficit, you know? But I will tell you this, a majority of the time, a vast majority of the time, I'm talking like 90% plus, when people tell me that they're in some type of plateau, some type of, or metabolic adaptation is what it's called. It's usually adherence. Plain and simple, man. That's really what it comes down to. People they falsely believe that they're hitting some type of plateau, when in reality, it's just they're not really sticking to the program. That's just the honest, flat out truth right there in my coaching experience.
No, and I agree with you, Anthony. What's your take?
I think sometimes people think they're in plateaus when they're really not, and I think that's what Zach was alluding to, like. Progression or getting to the results, they're not going to be perfectly linear, to your point. It's not going to be a perfect 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds every single week consistently, right? So some weeks might be 2 or 3 or 4, and then 1 week you might even gain a pound back, like for whatever reason, right? And that's okay, but it's and that can be frustrating. But just know that if you continue to do the work, follow the process, it will continue to get you to the place that you want to be at, right, to your goal. So I think it's not linear. Exactly to your point. Like there's going to be some off weeks, and there's going to be weeks where maybe your intensity, your workouts weren't as good, or maybe you weren't quite able to follow the nutrition plan that we set out, or that set out for you, right? So it's not a perfect process by any stretch. So I think people think they're plateauing when in reality, maybe they're over complicating it or overthinking it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think the reality here, man, is like, going back to what Zach said, it really depends on the time. Like if you've been stuck for like 3+ months and you've been following the plan, whatever that plan is for you, in our program, it's called a system, right? We have 4 pillars. You guys that have been here for a while know that we are very, very, we adhere to the 4 pillars in our own life. And that's why we strongly believe in it so much. And that's why our clients are crushing it, right? So the reality though, is if you've been stuck for less than 3 months and you haven't been consistent, it's not a damn plateau. That's it. It would take,
right.
I would need to see, like Zach said too, the adherence piece, right? If you've been adherent, you've been getting quality sleep. There's so many factors. That's the issue, is that there's ebbs and flows in life, right? You've got higher stress. You might have lack of sleep for a week or two. Your nutrition might have been off for a week or two, and you thought you were eating healthy, but maybe your portion sizes were off. Maybe your workouts need to be tapered in a way where you need more structure so that you can continue to progress. What you're doing right now, if you're 100 pounds overweight, what you're doing right now is not going to be the same thing you're doing 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and a year from now. And so there's so many little factors that I think the word plateau gets thrown around or tossed around way too loosely most of the time. And that's just my thoughts. So
no, that's for damn sure. Actually, I don't even consider it a plateau until a bare minimum of like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's when I start, okay, maybe something's going on here. But
let's look at
anything
adherence.
Before that, anything before that, I'm like, just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
not enough guys give
themselves
themselves
credit. Well, here's the thing too.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too, that maybe they're looking at just the scale, right? Maybe they're not looking at the inches, the clothes, how you feel, how you look in the mirror, like, that maybe we're just looking at the wrong things and focused on the wrong thing that we think is plateauing, when in reality, fat turns to muscle, or, and those kind of things as well. So it's not all about the number on the scale either.
Can't agree with you more. And that's like, that right there is the golden ticket, because the bottom line is, if you're going about this in a manner that's healthy, right? Like I saw a guy, he might even be on the live stream. Dude just said he was eating one meal a week and he lost 140 pounds. I said, great job on the weight loss. And I put in a disclaimer, man, like we don't advocate for anybody following a starvation diet like that. It's insane. The comments, you guys go check the post, man. I was absurd. I was like, flabbergasted. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's scary talk. So, but aside from that, and if you are tuning in, dude, welcome to the group. We want to support you. We want to make sure that you have a healthy lifestyle moving forward. Congrats on the weight loss. Not discrediting that at all. We would not condone any of our members to go about it like that. With that being said, I think the key note here is going back to what you said, Anthony. Now I lost my damn train of thought. I said it was the golden ticket, and then I just gone. But I think the body composition, that's where I was going. So like,
there you go.
With our approach, right? If you're going about this in a healthy way, adding lean muscle mass, taking away body fat, that number on the scale isn't going to move much for periods of time. The reality is longer term vision, when you're creating that long-term vision that we're so adamant about, right? This is not a fad diet. This is your life. We're given one body. If you want to go on a fad diet and lose 60 to gain 80 back, go for it. Heard a guy told me that today. That's why I bring up that number. These keto horror stories are that's what they are. It's horror stories. But I think what you have to take into consideration is you've got to be patient going through a journey like this. And you also have to take credit for your small victories. To Anthony's point, when your clothes are fitting better, people are taking note. You've got to realize it's not just the number on the scale, the positive things that you're doing for and to your body. What's happening on the inside is just as important, if not more important, than what's going on the outside. Outside is confidence, right? Like you want to look good. You want to be able to pull your damn shirt off at the beach and be like, you know what? I got this, bro. But when you feel good on the inside and you know that the things that you're doing are having an impact on your heart health, your your lung health, your gut health, all these things that you're doing with the things that we talk about, sleep, stress management, nutrition, fitness, all of those things add up to the big picture. What's going on the inside is so important. Reducing your health risks, getting off medications. You cannot fixate on the scale. And that's my 2 cents. So what do you guys think about that? I know you, Anthony, you already said it. Zach, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I agree, man. I'm just looking at the questions here, man, because you've been covering it. And if I don't have anything to add because you're covering it well, then I'm already on to the next thing, man. All right,
well, let's rock through them then. So what's the first question?
All right. This one's actually going to be for you, man, because you're the intermittent fasting master right here. So this is from Trent. He's asking, explain the science behind fasting and the real benefits, if any.
Trent, you're going to have to watch our mini course. I just broke it down in there, man. You might want to get your hands on that free mini course. I literally just did my whole spiel on this, but here's the reality, man. Like the bottom line is this, okay? I'm going to break it down for you as simple as possible. For you guys that are listening right now, take mental notes on this. If you are going to start following intermittent fasting, which I've done for 10 plus years, my body weight, my body fat percentage, other than when I have a baby sleeping in my room, they don't change much. That's the impact of sleep, remember? So here's the thing. All right. Anytime you eat sugar or carbohydrates, that is our body's first source of fuel. That's called glycogen. All right. Sugar and carbs broken down, stored in cells for energy is called glycogen. When you eat sugar, and well, let's go back a little bit. With intermittent fasting, if you identify a window, we recommend starting with an 8-hour window. My window's crazy, but I've been doing it for a long time. My window is about 5 hours. I get 4 meals in 5 hours. Don't try that. Okay. 8-hour window. If you eat during that 8-hour window, that's when your body is using that fuel, right? You're eating carbs, you're eating things, you're getting fuel during that 8-hour window. Outside of that 8-hour window, when you don't eat, you don't throw any kind of glycogen at your body, your insulin then comes down. You want your insulin response to come down because here's how it works. You eat sugar or carbs, blood sugar spike, followed by a subsequent insulin spike, followed by that sugar going into cells. In order for that sugar to get into the cells or the glycogen to get into cells, your body has to release insulin because that's what gets it into the cells. So what happens is when you are fasting or following an intermittent fasting plan, what happens is in between those times when you're eating, your insulin levels come down. They then release that sugar out. So now you're burning it off, and now you're burning fat. And so the idea here is behind outside of your eating window, you're going to stay in this natural fat burning mode as much as you possibly can so that you can continue to get lean. I'm telling you that I've been following this, like I said, 10 plus years. It is tried and true. The guys come into our program and just crush it. I think Seth came in and dropped, dude, like 20 pounds in month one just by making this one change, dude. It's highly, highly effective, but that's the science behind it. So next question. You guys getting value out of this? If you're getting value out of this, drop value in the comments right now. I think this is a heated episode.
Let's go, boys.
Yeah. He said, and additionally, he said on his next comment, he said he had someone tell him it was useless. But let me add on to that. So not even coming from that approach, like Jason broke it down. I've done intermittent fasting before. I'm currently not, because I'm in a different kind of program personally at the moment. But I've used it. It's like another tool in your toolbox.
Yes.
So that's what I've used it for. When I had a very aggressive cut one time years ago, I actually used intermittent fasting so that it could help me just restrict my calories to a certain extent so that I could hit this goal. So like, besides what Jason said, it's just another tool in the toolbox. So it's just a great addition. I've done
and it's not the end all be all.
It depends on the goals.
Depends on the
go ahead,
goals.
Anthony, chime in, man. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, no, that's it. It just depends on your goals, right? But for a majority of the people that are coming into our group, majority of people are, for the most part, wanting to lose weight, and that's what it's there for. So anyway, go ahead.
For fat loss, Trent, like, just to sum it up, for fat loss, in my experience, and I've been doing this a long time. Remember, I was 60 pounds overweight at one point. In my experience, it is the most efficient and simplest way to burn fat efficiently and give you more flexibility with your lifestyle. You don't have to get up and cram down breakfast. You have a lot of flexibility in that time. There's also some strategies that we teach around being able to have cheat meals, drink the burger and the beer on the weekend, where we implement a couple little nuances with intermittent fasting. And now I'm able to eat that stuff and I'm not gaining weight. Like, I don't gain weight, and I have religiously 2 cheat meals every week, beer both nights. And I'm going to tell you, I overeat at those cheat meals. It's a cheat meal. I want to enjoy that shit because I earned it. And so I'm not going to go in and eat like a junior, like a one slider. I'm going to go get a real burger with a freaking egg. You guys have seen the pictures in here. A couple of beers, some fries, and probably ice cream afterwards. I don't gain weight. That's how effective it is. And so take it for what it's worth. If somebody told you it's useless, then their thoughts, in my opinion, are useless in regards to this. They don't know the science. They haven't done the research. They probably haven't tried it. Those who say it's useless haven't done it. And so that's the reality. Hopefully we covered that, man. Next question.
Next. So this is from Brian. If you hit a plateau, is it more tweaking the carbs or fats nutrition wise?
I don't know that I would mess with much, man. Like, if you know that you're eating healthy and you know that your portion sizes are where they need to be, we don't teach calorie counting or macro counting, man. Like, that becomes very convoluted. The focus is nutrient dense foods and fueling your body for performance. We did a training on that a couple weeks ago. Fueling your body for performance, and each one of us can echo these sentiments. We all eat around the same amount of food per day. Most of us the 3 of us are basically in maintenance mode. Zach's got some a little bit laser focused goals right now, but like, we're eating for performance. We're fueling our body for performance. And when you get to that point in your journey, this is what it looks like. Like, today's Wednesday. Tomorrow I got shoulder day. All right. Today I eat 4 meals a day. Today's Wednesday. If I only ate 3 meals, I wouldn't feel it today. I'd be fine. I wouldn't be starving or hungry when I went to bed. Tomorrow, when I go and do my shoulder workout, though, and try to do my interval training afterwards, it ain't happening, Jack, without me feeling completely gassed, all because of that one meal. That right there exemplifies fueling your body for performance. And that's what we would love for everybody to be able to do, because nutrition is overwhelming and it doesn't need to be. So hopefully that answers your question. You guys want to chime in on that one?
Yeah, I mean, my first things first, like I said, I wouldn't even consider it a plateau until it's been a minimum of 3 weeks. So I wouldn't mess with the damn thing first and foremost. And once you know everything's dialed in, sleep, stress, water consumption, your nutrition is all right, your exercise is all good, and it's still been over 3 weeks and things aren't moving, I'll just let you know that it doesn't really matter. This is just from an objective nutritional standpoint. it doesn't matter. Research has shown that whether it's high carb, low fat, or vice versa, as long as the calories and protein are all the same, you're going to lose about the same amount of weight anyway. So that's just the objective answer when it comes to that answer or that question. So I hope that helps.
We could go pretty deep on this one, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you could go pretty deep on this one, but I think that does answer it. I definitely would I'd be patient and just wait it out a little bit, man. It's not the thing about the weight loss process is weight gain takes a long time, and so does weight loss. So it's funny because a lot of people think, they'll gain this weight over the course of 5 to 10 years, but they'll want it off in 5 to 6 months. So just take it slow and be patient, man. And then if nothing moves after a month, then you know what, revisit it and make a checklist and make sure everything's all good before even thinking about messing.
And maybe it's intensity of exercise too, right? Like maybe your body's got to a point where I'm burning enough calories to be in maintenance mode now, and you got to kick it up a notch. There's so many little moving parts there that that's why when someone comes at us, and like I said, I'm going to show you guys a linear graph, or it's a non-linear graph of a couple of the clients that we've worked with. And when somebody comes to us and says, hey man, I've hit a plateau, we've had guys enter our program, a 6-month program, and after 2 months didn't see the scale budge much. I had a guy reach out to me and was like, hey dude, it's been 2 months. And like, I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling energetic, but I'm not seeing much on the scale. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk, right? So we dialed in the pillars, made sure he's got everything going on. And literally 4 days later, this guy messaged me and was like, hey man, like I just stayed the course, did everything that we talked about, made one little tweak here or there. Guy was down 6 pounds the next week, right? So this is how things can be, it's not linear at all. You just have to trust the process, man. So hopefully we answered your question and you got some value out of that.
Yeah, I hope so. All right. So next one is from Charles. He asked, how do you know if you're eating too much or not enough? Oh, actually, there's another one that I skipped, but let's answer this since I already asked it. How do you know if you're eating too much or not enough?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. Like, to be honest with you, because we don't teach calorie counting or macro counting or anything like that, really you've got to get in tune with your body, right? Intuitive eating. You've got to be able to get to a point where you're not stuffing your face. What I would do, to be honest with you, is experiment with how little you can eat very slowly and feel where you feel full. Right now in the traditional American diet, the TAD, right? The bottom line is, dude, like we're eating off of 12-inch dinner plates. There's not a restaurant in this country other than maybe like La Madeleine, who's a French restaurant, which serves small portions, that doesn't overserve you by massive amounts. So psychologically, we see this amount of food and think, oh, it's that clean your plate mentality. I paid for it. You better believe I'm going to eat it. And then the vicious cycle starts. And so I would encourage you, or I would challenge you to really try to get in tune with what you really need to fill you up for one meal and see how that does. You are not going to starve, dude. Like if you're, as long as you're eating, you're not going to starve, but this might take a little bit of experimentation to figure out, okay, like how much do I really need to eat to feel full or satiated and not feel like I'm stuffed? And then I can move on and have another meal in a couple hours or a snack or whatever. That's my take. What do you guys thought?
I'll chime in here on this one real quick. So growing up, it was all about, I don't know if you guys were this way, but as an athlete in school, eat as fast as you can so you can go back for seconds at the cafeteria, right? Mm-hmm. So you're eating as fast as you can. Your body's not catching up to it. You still feel hungry, and then you're miserable because you ate way too much. You overstuffed your face. So not only is it eating, maybe smaller portions, but take it a little slower, right? Your wife, your spouse does not want to see you like stuffing your face. That's like bad manners. Like I've got 3 daughters there. I'm teaching them, like if I'm shoveling, like that's so getting a little funny there, but seriously, like slow it down a little bit. And that's how you know when you're full, you're satisfied. Stop, right? We get caught up in this like Thanksgiving, Christmas meals where we've got to be miserable and unloop the belt, right?
That's fun twice a year,
fuel,
but
right? Yeah. Yeah, food is fuel. It's not all revolved around, for pleasure kind of thing.
Yeah, food is for fuel, not for drool, right?
Except
for that burger.
There you go.
Burger, right?
Yeah, so I'll add that it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for your mind to tell your body that it's full, for those hormones to catch up with itself to let you know that, hey, I'm content. So that's pretty much what Anthony's saying. Don't stuff yourself silly because you might actually think you're still hungry, but then all of a sudden you overshot it. Yeah. So if you feel, you just have to have the self-awareness. You need to take your time and just be aware, like where's content and where is I regret this.
Yep.
You know, so that's how you know. And
that fine line.
Exactly.
It'll just
it really
take some
is.
tweaking, man. Like, you know,
Mhm.
that's it. Like,
it really is. And
Yep.
and for
Self-awareness.
undereating, if you're
Exactly.
feeling like real lethargic, if you're feeling like you're starving, you're really hungry, then you probably are undereating. But honestly, 80-90% of the time, it's going to be a problem with the overeating.
Yep.
That's just in general, because there's so much foods are so calorie dense nowadays. So usually undereating is not going to be an issue. But if you're definitely feeling lethargic, low energy, and just libido starts going out, out the door, you're probably a little low on your fats. You're probably a little low on your calories in general.
Yep.
So yeah, that's just some general advice, because that could unravel itself in itself. That's the kind of general answers for this question.
Cool.
It all depends.
As you pull up the next question, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen just so you guys can see what non-linear fat loss looks like. These are 4 guys that have crushed it with us. And I'm just going to show you. And I'm going to pull up Justin's, dude. You guys all saw Justin's interview, or maybe you didn't. If you're new to the group, go look in the guide section and go tap on one of Justin's interviews. This guy, 84 pounds and a marathon in under a year. If he can do it, anybody can do it. The guy came to me miserable, out of shape, sick and tired of being sick and tired. So hopefully you guys see my screen now. As you see, Justin, 6 months, 250 to 175. He surpassed that number quite a bit, but look at this. All right. It's not linear at all. He hits this, goes up a little, comes here, little stagnation, then a steady decline. And then he's not budging much here, comes down, kind of a little bumpy, and then down, right? That's close to linear as you're going to get. And then we got Ed. Ed's dropped about 30 pounds and lost about 12.5% body fat. Look, Ed went up at first, then came down. Then there's a little bit of choppiness. Then there was a steady decline, and then a dip, and then down, right? It's not linear at all. Martin, this was the one that I just told you guys about, where it was like 2 months. He didn't see shit. Right here was that 2 months, right? Like almost a full 2 months. Like, dude, it's not moving. I'm not seeing much, but look, plummet. And then just this stagnation, and then down again. And then very slow, gradual decline, and then a dip again. Ryan, this guy lost almost 80 pounds. He was right on track with Justin. Ryan, 280, started 286. Look at this. This guy linear, then went up. Then a little bit choppy, down. And then right here, look at this. Couldn't do anything for like a full month and a half. Nothing.
Couldn't get past 250, yeah.
Yeah, and then down again. Like, this is the stuff that you guys need to see, so that when you feel stuck or you feel like you're in a plateau, like that's the shit you need to realize. Like, these are numbers. Data doesn't lie. Numbers don't lie. So hopefully you're getting value out of this, because the reality is, man, sometimes it's just about being patient and trusting the process. What do we got next?
All right. So this is going to be from Charles, and he's asking, what would the best nutrition plan for a newbie? So this is more general. So I think what we should just throw at him is just kind of some tips that he can do to get started.
So Charles actually over in the Man Up community. And so Charles asked that during our coaching call. Post that on the thread over there, and we'll give you a more in-depth insight over there. We'll go a little bit deeper and unpack that with you and give you a little bit more guided approach. But my take on this is very simple. If you're looking for somewhere to start that it's not going to be miserable and it's not going to make your life like fad diet crazy, Mediterranean diet, dude, you can't beat it. They eat a lot of lean meats, a lot of lean protein, a lot of healthy fat, lots of greens, lots of fish. You can't go wrong with that approach. That's the easiest way for me to say like what the best nutrition plan was. But what are your guys' take?
Yeah, that's a good recommendation.
It's a pretty well-rounded diet, man.
Yeah, I'd up
tasty
my lean protein.
food too, like flavor. Yeah, sorry.
Yes,
true.
Lots of oils and stuff. Good healthy oils. So yeah,
I'd up my lean protein. I'd up my healthy fats. I would up my vegetable intake. I would drop my processed food consumption, because that's the stuff that has a ton of calories that you're not going to realize until you look at the nutrition facts on it. Drink more water, and then don't drink your calories. So have only water as much as you can. That's literally it. That will get you that's a great start already.
Yeah,
but we'll definitely unpack that more in the private community.
Yep. Sam Ramirez asks, agree fasting, good or bad, and for how long? Heard of 1 meal a day, good or bad? Man, like there's a million and one ways to skin a cat. I'm not going to tell you, like the guy that came in today and said I ate one meal a week. Like, I'm not condoning that. Ooh. The 1 meal a day thing, like it can work. It's just not the approach that I would take. The reality is it's going to have an impact on your metabolism. And it's also going to be miserable. You're going to have to get a good chunk of your calories in that one meal because you're not eating any other time. And so I'm not about going super low calorie. I'm all about nutrient dense foods and not low calorie foods. And so if you eat one meal a day, chances are, unless you have like one of my epic cheat meals, you're not going to be able to crack 2,000 calories with healthy nutrient dense foods. You can crack that easy with fast food or, like a cheat meal, but we're talking about healthy nutrition, dude. Like, I'm against the one meal a day thing, but I know some people who have used it and done really well. So that's my take.
Yeah, I'm not a 1 meal a day guy either.
What's the next one?
I can't do that.
No.
So this
No
one
way.
from Steve. He's asking, how can you overcome the problem with eating at night? It's like an addiction for him, he says.
Yeah, he came in today and said he's been having some challenges, man. So I reached out. We'll see if we can connect and see if we can give him some better insight. He's got, I think he's posted, he's got quite a while to go, maybe 100 pounds or so. So Steve, the reality is, man, is when it comes to food and psychology, you very well may have a food addiction, and that's why you're in the place that you are, and that's okay. Right now, this is not about who you are. It's just about where you're at. And there's some things, some strategies you need to put in place to be able to overcome some of these. A lot of it is mind over matter. To be honest with you, I would take this and go a full mindset mastery course with you and be like, dude, this is what we really need to do. Build your mindset up to conquer this demon that's haunted you for a long time. But in order to cut back on snacking at night, the easiest way to fix that is to get more nutrient dense foods into your life during the day. If you're living off garbage, you're eating crap all the time, you're going to stay hungry. If you're filling your body with nutrient dense foods, I'm talking lots of lean proteins, healthy complex carbohydrate sources, and lots of healthy fats, you're not going to be hungry at night. It's just not going to be, it just won't. Sugar addiction is a whole nother thing, and that's a separate animal, which I would tell you to start working on that, taper back on sugar as much as possible. But if you're just snacking at night and it's mindless, could be boredom, could be stress. There's a lot of factors that play into that. And that's why I think the mindset piece is such a key cog in being able to overcome a challenge like that in your life. What do you guys got?
I think the way that he worded it, it sounds like it's something habitual. So what I would do personally, if I was you, is because you're so used to it, it's kind of like your go-to thing. It's your thing now, pretty much. So you need to undo that thing because you know it's detrimental to where you want to be. So what I would do in the beginning is whatever the heck you're eating right now that's not working, I would replace that. So I'm not saying completely stop now, because stopping cold turkey is like one of the hardest things to do. So I would taper away from it slowly. I would replace whatever it is that you're eating with, maybe sliced cucumbers, carrots, something like that, just so that you could continue that behavior, and then it will be less calories. And then you're going to taper back, hey, 15 minutes less, 30 minutes less. And then you're just going to keep tapering it back until you get to the point where you're like, okay, I don't need to eat later on anymore. So just take it one small step at a time. But your first step is going to be to take away whatever unhealthy snacks you're eating, replace it with healthy ones so that you can continue at least that behavior. And it's not going to be like cold turkey, then take it back from there. That's what I would do.
Love it. We are,
the way he worded that real quick, I was just going to say, it's almost like a sense of boredom. Like the way he worded it, it's like, it's truthfully an addiction. Like I have to have something in my mouth. So I think it's something like stay busy.
Mindset,
like if it's at nighttime, like, stay away from the kitchen, right? Stay busy, stay upstairs,
self-awareness,
stay downstairs,
situational awareness.
Self-awareness. That's right. Exactly.
No, I love it. We got a couple more questions and then we'll close shop and give you guys a minute here to check out. And then we'll talk about, what it might look like to partner with us. I do see one that I really want to answer right now immediately and put this thing to bed is, would you recommend intermittent fasting for a type 1 diabetic? I'm going to go ahead and just say no. I don't know what your A1C is. I don't know what kind of blood sugar control you have on a day-to-day basis. I don't know a lot of context about your individual situation. I don't know if you have an insulin pump or you're self-injecting. There's a lot of factors in there that come into play. If you had an insulin pump and your sugars were very controlled, it could be something you could potentially try, but you're getting into dicey waters, especially if you are, for lack of a better term, a fragile type 1 diabetic, where you could be having a lot of spikes and a lot of lows. It's not something that I would even consider, man. There's a million and one ways to skin a cat. I don't know what your goals are specifically either. If it's fat loss, reach out to me. I can give you some more insight. Happy to shoot you a message or two. But dude, like I wouldn't be messing around with that, because the last thing that you want to do is bottom out in a situation where you're not expecting to bottom out, and then be, up shit's creek without a paddle. And not have the help or support that you really need in a urgent situation like that. So that's my take. Any other questions that you see? Charles, I see you got another one on there, dude. We will absolutely cover that deeper on our coaching call on Sunday with you, man. Just make sure you post those in the thread so we don't forget. We got your back on the question you had about the 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Any other ones you see, Zach?
There's another one. I mean, Ron just brought something up. It's not necessarily a long question, but I'll just read it real fast. It says,
Sure.
I agree that it's not all about the scale when you're talking losing 40 pounds plus off the frame. That body fat ratio is different. What the heck is a different place than someone who's looking to lose 5, 10, 20 pounds. They already have a better body ratio, right? He's just saying that he can't imagine not tracking the weight. So we agree. It's not all about the scale like we covered. Some people do have more weight to lose than others, but we're just saying that the scale is not the end all be all metric.
Tracking is absolutely necessary, dude.
Yes.
Tracking your progress 100% is something that you must do if you're in this journey for the long haul.
Right.
When you get to and I'm not I'm a humble dude, man. I'm not saying that I'm like the guru here at all. I've just been doing this a long time. And so am I as consistent with tracking my progress as I used to be when I was doing I was in my bodybuilding phase or when I was going through my weight loss journey? No, but I'm in maintenance phase. I'm a dad with 2 kids, and I'm pretty content with my physique and my energy levels. I feel really good right now. And so it's not something that I'm super obsessive about. But somebody like you that's trying to lose weight, man, and you're trying to make progress, you should absolutely track 100% of your progress and your weight. Don't become scale obsessed. Once a week is plenty sufficient. But I agree with you on the point that you brought up. What you got, Anthony?
No, we're good. You got it. I'm good.
Cool. All right. Well, if you guys have any other questions, drop them down below. As always, we'll go back, circle around tomorrow. We will cover anything that we did not cover tonight. So if you tune into this late, drop them down below. If you got value out of tonight's training, please drop the word value one more time in the comments. So those guys coming tomorrow that want the replay will know to stick around. Those timestamps are valuable for us, and they're valuable for these guys that want to stick around and get is the maximum amount of value that we provide on a Wednesday night, every Wednesday night. With that being said, here's a short commercial break. This is your opportunity to duck out if you don't want to hear anything about what it would look like to partner with us. And we'll give you about 1 minute. If you guys have any other questions, drop them down below. As always, we're happy to answer anything that comes up. And you guys got anything you want to add before I go into a short spiel and then we check out, because we've been talking now for like 3 hours?
Nah, go for it, man. I'm just going to answer some of these questions that we weren't able to touch on, but I am going to tag you in Steve's question in regards to the diabetic ones, because you're the medical professional here.
Yeah. No, I am more than happy to do those. If you want to just tag me, like you said, I'll circle around and take care of that. Okay. So, Adam says value in a short time. Adam, if you did not see the beginning of the live stream, this live stream will stay pinned at the top of the group for the next few days. You can go back and press play from the very start and you'll be able to catch the entire thing. For any of you guys who checked in late and put replay in there, if you're requesting the replay, just know, go up to the top of the stream after we're done, hit play, and you can watch the whole thing. All right. So basically, here is the next step. If you would like to hear more about what it would look like to partner with us, all you have to do is listen up. I'm going to tell you some simple instructions. Basically, the next steps would be, I'm going to give you a word to type in the comments below. And this is what's going to be the next steps. If you type that word in the comment below, Zach or myself will be reaching out to you, and we will talk about next steps. We're going to talk about what your current challenges are. We're going to talk about how long you've been struggling, and we're going to talk about what you're really truly looking to accomplish over the next 6 to 12 months. We are not a cookie cutter solution. We are not a fad diet at all. We are a lifestyle approach that just happens to really, really work efficiently for fat loss and muscle gain. Okay. You guys saw the graphs tonight. If you want to join one of those guys and have non-linear weight loss, become the most elite and healthiest version of yourself, drop the word HIRE, HIRE, in the comments below. And here's what's going to happen next. We're going to reach out. We'll have that short conversation. And if we feel like we can help you, the next step is just going to be a short phone call. All right. On this phone call, this is not going to be a sales call. There will be nothing for sale on the phone call. All we want to do is chat a little bit, unpack what your actual challenges are, and then see if our solution is even a match. If it is a match and we feel like we can truly help you, we'll point you to an additional resource or two, and then we can schedule a call to dive a little bit deeper and talk about what it would look like to partner with us. As you probably gathered, there is not a single one of us on our team that will try to strong arm you into something that you don't want to do. This is all about having a conversation with us just to see if our solution is even a fit for your life, or if you're even a fit for what we do. The reality is we're very selective about who we work with. We keep our private community very guided. Those guys are there to unleash their legacy, hence the name. And if you're ready to unleash your legacy, again, type the word HIRE in the comments below, and either Zach or myself will reach out. Expect a message from us tonight. We'll get those knocked out for you guys, and then we'll take the next step and have that conversation. That's all I have for tonight. What we want you to know is that obviously we are not a cookie cutter program. This is a very high level, results driven experience, right? This is mentorship and coaching for a full 6+ months, right? This is us working very closely by your side to make sure that you're reaching your goals. If you've not heard of a service like that, we were pretty unique in what we do. Obviously, not a lot of people out there teaching the sleep and the stress management pillars. But the reality is what we do really, really works. And if you want to take that next step, you're ready to invest in your health, and you're ready to partner with 3 professionals who can take you to the promised land, which is where you're headed if you really put your mind to it. We can give you all the tools to get there, and we would love to have that conversation, see if it's even a match for us and for you, and go from there. So that is what we have for tonight. Hopefully you guys got maximum value. We will be back next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. You guys got anything you want to add before we close shop tonight?
I'm good, man. I don't have anything.
I think
Anthony,
we crushed this one, fellas. I think this was great.
Yeah, no, I think, guys, you've seen the results. You've seen the testimonials. If you haven't, go through the group, scroll through the feed. Like, there's so much value. There's so many people crushing it and getting to that elite version of themselves, and becoming more confident and more energy, and hitting the goals, and continuing to be consistent, right? And it's that brotherhood. So if that's something you're interested in, just let's have a conversation at least and see if it makes sense. No, nothing bad can come from us having a conversation. And, you know, worst case, if not, you can stay in the group, continue to get value. We'll do as much as we can to help you guys out. That's what we want to do, is impact as many of you as we possibly can, because that's our goal. That's what we want That's what we want to do. We want to impact others.
Our mission is to make the largest impact possible on the male obesity epidemic in our country. And if you want to be impacted by us, we would love to have that conversation with you. Again, the first phone call, if we get there, there will be nothing for sale. This is a 15-minute call, man. Like, you got nothing to lose. We're going to add maximum value to your life. If it's not a good match, we're going to point you towards somebody who can either help you better, or we're going to point you towards some resources, either within the group or the podcast or something, to help you start moving in the right direction and become the best, healthiest, and most elite version of yourself. So that's what we have tonight, fellas. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Zach, Anthony, you guys have a fantastic evening. As soon as I hit end, we're out. I'll talk with you guys tomorrow.
All right, gentlemen.
Later, guys.